Cool. Thank you. Good morning or good afternoon.
All right, questions? Go back there. Go. Wally?
So what have you been up to for the last few days and weeks?
A lot. A lot of obligations, a lot of different things that I kind of have to attend to, but it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad to be back in Eugene and just being with the guys.
In the back, Jay.
Marcus, the Heisman seems kind of like a club, or at least it's promoted that way, that Heisman winners have something that they can share with each other that others can't. Jameis Winston is a Heisman winner. You're going up against him. Do you have thoughts on playing against someone who's also in your club? I think this will just be the second time ever that's happened.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. But, Jameis doesn't play defense and I don't play defense, so we won't actually be playing against each other. But, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a great challenge for us to play against that team, and I'm sure Jameis will come out and play hard.
Rob Mosley?
After all the chaos of that week, what was it like to get back to work? Did you feel like you were able to get right back into it Tuesday? And just, how much did you appreciate kind of just getting back into your routine that way?
Yeah, you said it best. I appreciate every moment of it. It was nice to just get back in Eugene. I think a lot of people don't really realize how, busy that award circuit is. But yeah, I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it, but it's just good for me to be back in with those guys.
Far side on the right.
Marcus, you encouraged everyone to dream big, the younger kids. Did you dream this big, and what's it like fulfilling these dreams?
Yeah, growing up, I definitely had dreams to be a part of the ceremony. I hope that kids around can do the same. But yeah, it's an incredible feeling. It's really hard to explain sometimes, but I'm just really grateful to even be a part of that, and now to be a part of that really fraternity that they call.
Andrew, over on the right side.
Marcus, with Evo going down, do you feel like you have to take on any extra leadership burden with him not physically be on the field with you guys? Does that change at all how you approach leadership leading into the Rose Bowl?
Not necessarily. I think guys on defense will have to step up, but at the same time, I think Ifo wants us to continue to maintain what we're doing, and he's been awesome, ever since being injured, but he's really kept everyone's spirits up, and to have that type of leader even when he's out on the field is so pivotal, and he understands that he still has a lot of influence even if he's not on the field, and guys will rally around him, and we'll be all right.
Front left, Ryan.
How well did you get to know Jameis at the Manning camp, and what is it about his game that you respect?
I really didn't get to know him a whole lot. He was there for a couple days and then had to leave a little early. But from being around him, he seems like a nice guy. And just watching him play, he really has a command of that offense. He really leads that team. Whenever they're down, he's gonna make that play for them to win that game. And he's that type of player. And it doesn't matter if they're losing, they always can count on him, and it's very respectable.
All right, Jake.
How did the team respond when Ifo went down, and how did they rebound after that?
Yeah, the response is positive. It's, for us, we just got to continue to have that same mindset of the next guy up. It's always tough to see one of your teammates go down, but like I said, Ifo's been so positive the last few days that guys really haven't allowed themselves to be negative about it, and just to kind of have Ifo there rallying us and making sure that we will be all right helps us out in this transition.
Marcus, I know every game is different, but how much does it help that you're coming off this win against Arizona? It was a dominating fashion on both sides of the ball, and also the fact that this team has dealt with adversity and injuries all year, and it doesn't seem to affect the team. So both of those things, does that help this team moving forward?
I would say so. It gives a lot of confidence to the team, and really just gives us that motivation to continue just to play ourselves. And no matter what, this process that we've been through all year, Coach Evers always talks about the process. We just got to continue to trust it, and no matter what, everything will work out. We just got to make sure we're all staying together and playing the best that we can.
If a fellow football player called you up for some advice about how to handle going to New York, what could you offer after you've been through the experience?
That's a great question. For the most part, I would tell them to try to enjoy the experience. There's going to be a lot of people pulling you every which way. But for the most part, enjoy it. It's a once-in-a-lifetime deal. And don't get too caught up with everything that's going on, and understand that there's other people that got you there, and just enjoy the moments.
All the way in the back, Jake.
Marcus, you mentioned how much you had to do in New York. One of those things was going on David Letterman. What was that experience like? And specifically, what does the joke Heisman, now that's mayonnaise, mean?
You got me there. I was reading cards, so I didn't really know what the jokes were. A couple of them were pretty funny, but that one I didn't really understand. But just, again, like I was saying earlier, there's a lot of obligations that go with what's going on during that award circuit. But, to enjoy moments like being on, the Letterman show, to enjoy moments of, being around Central Park or being in New York for the first time, that's the type of stuff that you just got to, enjoy it and have fun with it, and understand that, it only comes around once, and to take it all in. And, I was very grateful for all those experiences, and I had a lot of fun.
Austin, right here on the left.
Marcus, you said that was your first time in New York. Had you been there before?
That's the first time I remember. I'm not sure if I went when I was younger, but yeah, for me, that's really my first time.
You've gotten used to dealing with celebrity, but is there a moment you can think of from the last week when it sort of hits you that, okay, this is a different level of celebrity when you're the Heisman Trophy winner?
I don't know. I really try not to pay attention to that. Most people that you meet are generally respectful and nice, and just want to support you. So, it's always nice to kind of hear that on the street or whatnot. And, for the most part, I really just try not to pay attention to it. And that's really all I can say about that.
On the right, Sam.
Okay, getting back to the Letterman stuff, did you ever think when you were a kid in high school in Hawaii that you'd actually be on national television delivering the top 10 on the late night program?
Not at all. And a lot of my buddies back home were really excited and thought that entire piece was really funny. And, for me, that was incredible. Talk about once in a lifetime experiences. That's one of them. And, again, it was a lot of fun and something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
In the back, John.
Marcus, Byron downstairs said that this team's working harder than any team he's seen here before. Why do you think that is? What's been the biggest cause for just the team to work harder than it has maybe in the past?
I don't know. I think people want to play for each other. They care about each other. There's everyone's going to go through a little adversity, and I think that kind of brings people closer. And we've been through a little bit of adversity all year, and guys really just kind of care about each other and want to play for each other. And when you have that type of motivation, it tends to make you work harder. And I think that's kind of what's going on with this team. And like Byron said, that's kind of special to be a part of.
On the right, no.
Marcus, how are you going to spend the holidays? And what do you think is the one biggest challenge for the team right now?
I'm going to be headed home actually tomorrow, so that'll be nice. I'm looking forward to that. But moving forward, I think the biggest challenge will be to continue to trust this process that we've been on. It's unfortunate that sometimes there's a couple bumps in the road, and sometimes that can make you deviate from what you want to do. And the biggest challenge is going to be trusting what the coaches continue to prepare for us, and trusting that this process that we've been on this entire year is going to get us to where we want to be. And, if we continue just to believe in each other, believe in the coaches, we'll be all right.
Front Will. Marcus.
While you were in New York, what did you do, if anything, to continue preparing for Florida State? And since you've been back, did you feel like you had to play catch-up at all?
I did my best to get as many film sessions as I could while I was on the road. A lot of time that I spent traveling, I did try to watch film. I didn't feel like I had to play catch-up. I felt that, I was kind of where I needed to be. And that was my goal on the trip, was to prepare myself mentally so that when I came back, I didn't have to play catch-up.
Back, Jake.
Marcus. Getting to Florida State's defense specifically, they have 2 All-Americans. Can you talk about each one individually? Jalen Ramsey's a safety, Eddie Goldman's a defensive lineman, and what you've seen watching them on tape, what those guys did so well this year that gave them all their accolades.
They're both playmakers. They really are athletic guys that can make a difference in the ball game. And Ramsey, if you just watch him on film, is one of those types of guys that will single-handedly turn the drive and stop it. And he's a great player. He's going to make his plays. We just got to continue just to be ourselves and try to execute against those guys.
We have time for 2 more. Andrew.
Taj Griffin, Ty Griffin has been given the defense a look as kind of playing Jameis in some ways this week. But for you, as a former Georgia Tech quarterback who's played Florida State and prepared for a defense like that, does it give you any kind of look about what to expect from Florida State? I know there's a different team from last year, but tendencies or anything like that, kind of an inside view?
As in Ty? Ty was...
Yeah, Ty.
Okay. Not necessarily. I think his biggest goal right now is to be Jameis Winston, and his main focus has been that. He really has done a great job all year being that scout guy, and I'm sure if he feels that there's tips or things that we need, he'll let us know. But for now, I think his main goal is to be the best Jameis Winston that he can be.
All right, last question right here, Ryan.
Have you had a chance to mentor Ty and Morgan at all, and how do you see the future of the position whenever you do decide to leave?
I've done my best. Those guys have done a great job of coming in and learning on the fly. They really have taken it upon themselves to be the best that they can be, whether it's in scout or whether it's taking reps in certain situations. Those guys have come a long way. I'm excited for their futures. I think they both are very athletic guys that can throw the ball. And it'll be fun to watch them grow and to see them become football players.
Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you. Have a good one. Yeah, thank you. You too. Sure. What's up?